Hello, Marcus Lim here with Batman, A Death in the Family, and this is the Deluxe edition. So this is the landmark tale about the death of the second Robin, Jason Todd, and it's notable for the way that he died, right? So DC actually asked the readers to vote to decide whether Jason Todd lives or dies, and in the end they decided to have him die by a very narrow margin. So this is the 1988 storyline, which is collected in this deluxe edition. Death in the Family. Alright. As you can see, it says death comes to us all in 1988. The pop culture world was rocked when comics readers were given the opportunity to decide the outcome of the medium's most controversial quandary: should the boy wonder die? And they did indeed decide to let him die. So down here we see, so it collects the original Death in the Family tale from Batman 4-6 to 4-9. But not only Death in the Family, it also has the follow-up story, A Lonely Place of Dying, okay, which actually introduced the third Robin, Tim Drake. Okay, so after Jason Todd was gone, they actually decided to bring back Robin, but in the form of the new character, Tim Drake. So alright, so this edition also features a brand new introduction from Scott Peterson, okay, and there seems to be some extras like the never before printed alternate pages from Batman 428 that show what would happen if the Boy Wonder had lived, right? So they actually prepared two versions of the ending, or not the ending, I guess the outcome. One version is he died, which is the one that the reader decided, and the other version is that he lived. So they also have some pages, I think, of that. So we'll have a look. So let's have a look. So this is, I don't think that this has ever been collected in a deluxe edition format. I mean, obviously it's been collected in trade paperback, right? But yeah, this might be the very first time that we've got this in deluxe edition, which is great. So let me take the jacket off. Okay, and so this is obviously the page where we discover that Robin, Jason Todd, has died. Whereas the back, it's got the alternate version where we've got him being alive, right? He's alive. So that's pretty cool to have front and back like that. Okay, so let's see. So Death in the Family. Okay, so here's the contents. So we first have Death in the Family storyline. So all the chapters, okay, in these 4 issues. And then we have A Lonely Place of Dying, which runs through Batman and the New Titans as well. And then we come to the end, bonus material and alternate art pages. So let's start with Death in the Family. And this is the new introduction by Scott Peterson. Yeah, it is new because it's 2020. So I don't think this has ever been printed before, right? This new introduction. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so here's the the start of A Death in the Family, Batman 426. Okay, chapter 1. So quickly flip through these. So at the start of this storyline, I guess Jason Todd has become a bit kind of reckless, and so Bruce Wayne says, he's been discharged for maybe a little bit as Robin. And so what happens next is Jason decides to go on a quest to find his real birth mother, and that takes him to the Middle East. Batman also happens to be going to the same destination, coincidentally, right? Because the Joker has something going up there as well in the Middle East. So that brings them both together, and so yeah, so and then they decide to kind of find Jason Todd's birth mother together. And so what happens next is Shiva apparently is a potential birth mother for Jason Todd, but he realized that she's not the birth mother, and so that takes them to, I guess, the next chapter where he finally finds her, his real birth mother. But shortly after that, unfortunately, what happens is Jason Todd, he gets kind of like subdued by the Joker and kind of like being held hostage in a warehouse, and then it explodes. And so here's where we kind of like find out, right, whether he lives or dies. And so in this, obviously we know the outcome is that he actually dies. So this is the page here. So the readers have decided, they voted for Jason Todd to die, and yeah, so that's the outcome. So the story continues, and we have Superman appear as well to try to take down the Joker. So here's the final chapter, I think, where the dynamic duo Batman and Superman, they team up, I guess, to kind of bring Joker down. But obviously there's an explosion, they couldn't find the body, and that's the end of the story. So we then come to the next story, which is a follow-up, A Lonely Place of Dying, Remembrances. And I think this has been printed before. This is a 2011 introduction by Marv Wolfman, the writer of this storyline. By the way, the writer of the Death in the Family, that's Jim Starlin. Okay, but Marv Wolfman is the writer of this follow-up story, which introduces Tim Drake into the DC universe as the third Robin. And the reason is that Batman has become more and more aloof or something since Jason Todd's death, and so the reasoning is that he needs a Robin. Now the villain in this story is Two-Face, and yeah, we have Tim Drake sort of like actually this is Dick Grayson. But yeah, we have Tim Drake. He's sort of like pretty, good at digging and trying to, and he actually figured out that Dick Grayson is the first Robin, and then subsequently he also figured out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. As you can see here, he's talking to Alfred and Dick about that. And so what happens is they take him to the Batcave, and then Dick Grayson gets into his Nightwing costume. Tim Drake wanted to persuade Dick to become Robin again, but obviously he says no. So I think Dick just comes as Nightwing to help out with Batman, right? But then they run into some kind of trap, and so Tim Drake puts on the Robin costume, and in that way becomes the next Robin. I think Batman decides to give Tim Drake a chance, right, to prove himself, and so at the end we have Tim Drake officially being the Robin, and we end with like Joker, right? Ha 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 ha. He's like pulling the strings or something. But yeah, so those are the two stories, and this is the original advertisement. The phone numbers, the phone ad. This is the phone to call to get Robin to die. To live, and then this one is the phone to call if they wanted Robin to die. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty cool to have this ad printed. And so these are some of the alternate pages if Robin had lived. You can see the pencils and some of the follow-up pages as well. Alright, looks like unfinished, but here it's pretty cool to have these just to get a glimpse of what might have been. Alright, so that's the alternate page, and the original letters page from the issue. That's the letters column, discussing the voting results. What's this? Original paper sketch for the collected edition cover. Alright, that's the original edition cover, collected edition cover. And this is the Classics Library Edition cover art, 2009. And this is I actually have this. This is the Blu-ray movie. It's an interactive one, which is pretty interesting. That came out in 2020, which is last year. And with some biographies, and that's the end of it. Okay, so that's yeah, Batman: A Death in the Family, the Deluxe edition. As I said, this is like obviously a landmark story, and you're actually getting two stories in one, right? Death in the Family and A Lonely Place of Dying. You know, one about the death of Robin, and another about the birth of the next Robin. So you're getting both those stories in one volume, which is pretty good, and especially now that it's in Deluxe edition. But personally, I have never really read it until now. So if you're like me, then this is the perfect opportunity to experience these two landmark stories in the Batman universe. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video.